Camera C speed, scene one, take one, C mark.
Slay. Look at those.
Let me see it.
I like that.
Slay. Look at those boobies.
Should I not have said that? Are you offended?
No, I love it. I'm like, okay, and
Camera C speed, scene one, take one, C
yeah, I love it. I think by the way, you should wipe your camera. It has like blurry. 'Cause
Wait,
it's
am
dirty.
I still? I'm disgusting. It's because I use like.
No, it
oils
happens to me
and
all the time.
Makeup.
Yeah, I
oils.
always wipe it before I record. This one's
Sometimes
fine.
I forget.
Are you on any medication? Wait,
No.
never mind. I don't want
Don't
to
talk.
to me.
Take one, C mark.
We rolling?
We are?
Okay. Well.
Okay, Wi-Fi?
Hey, Wi-Fi. Wow.
How does that even work? Wow. You actually want to know. Wow.
Well, how does electricity work? Like, I don't know. How does anything work?
I've thought about it before, like how that person sat around and like figured out, oh, it's probably the fuzz, the friction that creates something. And then from that, he did on his hair or something.
Just like that.
And then from that, but like the light, it's honestly, it's amazing. And
It
then,
is.
and then who would have guessed that years later, with everything these people created for us to have a life, there would just be people walking around doing podcasts. It's just like, this is what I died for.
Well, the camera, great invention. Video.
But this is what we do from the, like,
is talk about our tits. It's horrible. It's
yeah.
really embarrassing what we've become.
Yeah. I always think about this when I think, oh, the future's going to be worse. And I just say, thank God I'm going to be dead by then.
Yeah. Definitely.
I always think about that.
100%.
I'm always so thankful for that.
Yeah, that we're gonna be dead before it gets
Yeah.
too bad. Maybe, though. Maybe not. Guys, welcome. Welcome to Idiot. I'm with this idiot right
Hi.
here, Violet Benson. You may know her as Daddy Issues. Who doesn't know Daddy Issues? It's iconic. When did you start that?
Oh, wow. I think I started that around close to 9 years ago, maybe now.
Holy shit, dude.
I know.
Real quick, because I always forget you do this. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe because it goes up the algorithm. Do you do that? Do you say that every time?
No, but
I
I
forget.
should. I'm trying to
Say
transfer
it.
more into YouTube because my podcast is more, I have a podcast as well, almost adulting, but my podcast is more audio. It's like what it's known for.
That's what it's known for.
But yeah, like that's where all the numbers go
Yeah.
into. But we, with the new network, they want me to also be focused on YouTube. So I do need to be more.
That's smart. Because like there's so much micro content too you can get from it.
From YouTube?
Yeah, or just like video podcasts. Like there's
Yeah. Well, I
clips.
post all my promos videos
Yeah.
on socials. Like
Yeah.
that always does well.
This is so boring.
Right.
Nobody
this is for
can-
us.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah. No, they don't.
They
Okay.
don't care.
So yeah, I'm Violet Benson. Actually, when I walked in, this is important, I introduced myself to everyone in the room by saying my first and last name because I just saw TikTok.
Yeah.
So obviously it's facts.
true. It's facts.
Yeah. And the TikTok said that the difference between people who are new rich, this girl works at a country club. She said that she noticed the difference between people that are new money and old money is that old money, the way they show their wealth by always walking into a room with confidence and then introducing themselves, their name, first, last name. And the first time I did it, I
clear.
giggled on accident. But then the second time I was like, Violet Benson, nice to meet you.
Honestly, it tripped me out because I introduced her to Chris, our DP, and I was like, this is Violet, and she's like, Violet Benson.
Nailed it.
And I was like, damn, she's lost her mind.
No, it's wealth. Okay. It is wealth.
So, but that's old money.
I'm old money.
But you're not old. Are you old money?
Look at that. I made you question.
Okay.
So it's working.
Okay, but then you stumbled over your own name.
That was my mistake.
Okay.
So
Because you were like, Violet Benson.
yeah, I'm working through that.
Okay. All right.
But, with some practice.
I made you question. You made me question if you were old
So
money.
it's working.
Okay, yeah. Okay, but you're doing it because that's it. I see a TikTok video, I'm convinced. Like I'll change my whole view of everything from a TikTok video.
Yeah, that's me with those makeup influencers, the 12-year-olds that like get ready with me and they do the makeup, and I'm like, oh, I need to buy all the products that they told me to buy.
Totally. I gotta get this freaking contour shit. Why are 10-year-olds contouring?
I don't know. First of all, I don't even know what contouring is. It's a myth. It's not real because I've done it. It doesn't change the way my face looks.
Yeah.
I follow the steps. I buy the products.
Yeah.
The following week, they post a new video. This is actually, I was sitting in my car pissed about it. The following week, they do a new makeup video. All the products are different, even the brush. I get if you're like, okay, this is a going out look versus a date night look, so different eyeshadows. I get that. No, but they're changing their concealer, their cover up, the brushes they're using, and I'm like, I just bought everything you told me to buy last week.
You're telling me you got played by a 12-year-old makeup artist?
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah. I was like trying on different lipsticks and I didn't have a towel. So I just was like, I'll use my shirt.
I'll use my shirt. That's smart. That's old money vibes.
I washed this.
Yeah.
I did the 15-minute fast wash before this interview. And I was like, perfect.
Is this why you were half an hour late?
No, I was actually doing something for my sister.
Okay.
But I washed this last night and I forgot about it. And then I grabbed out of the wash to go to my car. And I said, oh, okay, it's still there. That sucks.
You know what? I'm going to wear it anyway.
I didn't have time at that point. I was rushing out of the house.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? She's not even going to notice it. I said, it is so small.
For those of you listening, there's a massive stain on Violet's shirt. Two massive makeup stains. Like, I'm not talking concealer. I'm talking like a dark rose lipstick. Is that lipstick?
Yeah, and a black one.
And a black, okay. Yeah, it's massive.
Right.
But I just love that you wore it anyway. I love that. I love how much you care.
I love that compliment because what a great backhanded compliment. That's my favorite thing to do when you're like, you know what? I love how much you just don't care. Like, I love how you don't care what other people think. Like, you just leave your house looking like that. And I wish I could be brave like you, but I'm not.
Yeah, it's like when someone posts like a bikini pic and they comment like, you're so brave. But I actually, like, in all reality, like, I have stains on most of my clothes and I see you with a stain and it makes me feel at home. It makes me feel safe. It makes me feel like we are the same or similar. Like, I vibe with stained girlies. Like, because I'm one.
Yeah.
I'm one. How do you not? The only reason this shirt's not stained is because I just bought it 2 days ago.
Right.
It will be stained in the next week. Or like in the next
take
few
a whole
hours.
week? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah. I can't not stain shit.
Yeah. I think that's really interesting though on the internet now, how that's your flaws is what makes other people feel better about themselves. So you constantly, it becomes almost now a habit, I feel like, for anyone that's public in any type of way, where someone goes, oh, your life is so great. And instead of just being like, yeah, I'm so thankful, this week has been good, they have to go, well, no, actually, yesterday I got hit by a car. So this sucks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's always just so other people can feel better.
Yeah. I hear that. No, I just like that you have.
I just want you to know the stain is not for you. It's for me.
Yeah, the stain. Yeah, but I like the stain.
I really just assumed you weren't going to notice.
More.
I thought you weren't going to notice.
The fact that you thought I wasn't going to notice is really funny. But okay, wait. So 9 years ago, you started Daddy Issues.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? And what were you doing before then?
I was an accountant.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Which one? Which part?
That you were an accountant.
Is it though?
Yeah, for me, like I couldn't imagine because I'm so dumb and I can't. Being an accountant would be my worst nightmare. Like I hated math. I don't like, my brain doesn't work that way.
I think it's interesting.
I wouldn't be good at it.
People connect math with accounting.
Yeah,
and it's not similar. I've worked with accountants who are not good at math because you enter a lot of things in. So you just need to you have to be really good at attention to detail. Mm-hmm. I was in tax. I specialize in state and local tax. So it was everyone that I worked with. Most of them had a law degree and were accountants, and I was working towards my accounting degree. So that means that I have an undergrad degree in accounting, but then you have to take 4 exams in order to have the certificate as a CPA. So I passed 2 exams before I started daddy issues. So then because I didn't take the other 2 exams, it rolls away and then you lose it. But anyway, everyone I worked with were attorneys plus accountants because that was the specialty that I was in. And I just love rules.
You love rules.
I just love I love structure because I seem so calm, I think.
No.
Okay. So I don't know who I am. My perception of myself is different than what everyone else sees me. I forget that. I think I'm calm.
Okay.
And I believe that I come off calm because there's chaos inside my head.
Okay.
Constantly. I think about violence all the time.
Wait, violence in what way? If you had to pick suicidal or homicidal?
Oh, are you joking? Homicidal.
Really?
Yeah.
I definitely seem suicide. Yeah.
Oh, why would I kill myself?
Wow.
No.
Okay.
That's how I'm able to argue.
See, we're different.
I'm always staying calm, and especially stressful situations or if somebody gives me attitude, most of the time I'm just like, okay. And it's because I've learned to just keep it on the inside. So inside, I'm killing. I'm kidding.
Wow. But homicidal thoughts?
Yeah, all the time. It's perfectly normal.
How are you visualizing, like, is it a knife or is it just general, but it's not real, obviously.
No, the way I visualize it, it's so silly.
Okay,
But
silly.
I constantly visualize like scenarios. Okay, what if somebody tried to murder me right now? What around me can I do to defend myself?
Okay.
So it's like thoughts like that. Or what if I walked into a bank and then there was a robber?
Yeah.
And then I was like, guys, I got this.
Yeah.
And then I figure things out and I'm like, okay, I just calculated in my brain, there are 33 ways to save us.
Yeah.
And I did the calculations and the probability is this one is the best way. And then I'm like, okay, I have to murder the bank robber because he's a bad guy. So then I figure out a way to murder him.
Okay.
I kill him, but then I have empathy. So even in my own imagination, I'm like, no one deserves to die alone. So then I'm suddenly holding his hand while he's dying. Aww. And he's like, how could you be there with me when I was about to kill you? And I say, it's just who I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
It's just
so it's more like your murderous thoughts are self-defense, really.
Yeah, I guess.
They're not
as a woman, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone constantly wants to, rape us or kill us.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, how
am I going to defend myself?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But so it's like chaotic in your head all the time.
Yeah, but like in a fun way.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's creative.
Yeah.
Do you ever have just silence in your head?
Yeah.
Really?
When I do my hobbies, whether it's doing a puzzle or playing chess, unless I'm thinking of the rules, or if now I watch a TV show I'm really into, that really helps me just blank mind. What about you?
Not really. I would, the only time my head goes quiet is like yoga. I'll do hot yoga. Do you ever do hot yoga?
I used to.
It's like in a sauna.
I don't care for it.
I love it. Because you feel like you're going to die, and I like that.
Oh, I like that too.
I like that a lot. It's the only thing that shuts my head off. Because you feel like you're going to die.
Well, because the oxygen is literally leaving your brain.
I'm dying, basically.
You're actually, it's happening.
Yeah, and I love that. But you don't, and then you feel amazing after.
Yeah.
But I would say other than that, maybe meditation, like sometimes I can quiet my brain. But other than that, like it's pretty chaotic too in there. I feel like my best thoughts are always while I'm driving or showering, which is the most frustrating thing. Yeah,
because
you can't write them down.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so annoying.
Showering is where I get a lot of my good ideas. What is that?
Yeah.
Why?
We should come up with an idea where there's a pen and a paper like stuck to the shower. The paper is waterproof, obviously.
Pen and
you just write down your thoughts.
That's kind of genius.
Yeah.
Because you get it, they're always in the shower. I figured like everything out in my life.
Actually, one time years ago, I went to this party that was down the street from my house, my old house, and everyone in that party, they were on drugs.
What kind of drugs?
They were all in various drugs. Like I was the only person that was sober that walked in there.
Are you sober?
No, I mean by choice. I mean,
you're not like in a program.
No.
You're not an alcoholic.
I'm sober because I just don't like drugs or the taste of alcohol. I have self-control. I'm just kidding.
I mean, no, I'm sober too. I'm sober for almost 12 years.
No, I know.
But
We used
because
to
I
be
have
friends.
no self-control.
Right.
Wait, what happened?
I don't know. You got kids.
That's literally it.
That's
that
usually the
kills
case.
friendships.
Yeah.
It kills them. But
Well, I think we also got busy. I don't think it was really anything.
No. It was like just a natural kind of,
Yeah.
we hung out for a bit and then it just never, but
Yeah.
you're right. I also was like, I was not social for years. Like, I'm just now trying to like.
Well, I think it's really hard, and I would never hold it against someone when they decide to be in a serious relationship and they kind of drop their friends. That's on them. I don't agree with that. But when people start to have kids and they have new priorities, I would never hold that against them. Because I also, to be honest, I don't want to sit around and talk about your kids for 7 hours. I don't care about it. I don't care about your kids. Not yours. Yours are great.
I understand.
Love them.
I understand.
But that's just the truth. I'm not going to sit through 70,000 pictures of a newborn baby and they're like, how cute is he? Can he get any cuter? And you're like, yeah, you could. I wish I didn't look at this right now.
He's busted. That baby is
Yeah, I mean,
disgusting.
I'm sorry, but are babies really that cute when they're first born?
No.
They're not.
They look like little
you're
testicles.
they're never cute in the beginning, and
Yeah.
it's fine because they were just born. Like they went through a lot.
They're bloody. They're gunky.
Exactly.
They're little bloody, gunky.
I don't want to see that.
It's
And then
disgusting.
there's always like the line. Oh,
They still have the cord
And
on
then,
them.
like,
They still have the cord on them.
yeah, and then they like
disgusting.
want to see the same picture.
Yeah.
37
7
times.
times.
And you're like, and
Yeah.
then you're just oh,
Yeah.
oh, is that blood? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, why is there a cone-shaped head? Like I didn't know that was a thing. I
Yeah.
found out.
Cone shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
Wait a few months to show me.
Yeah.
As someone that doesn't have children. I'm just
Totally.
saying, it's different. Of
Yeah.
course, when you have kids, it's completely different because you share photos. Like, I'm not going to show you pictures of my cat because I'm sane enough for now to understand it's not the same thing. So, and also, I don't care to show you pictures of my cat.
Yeah. You just post those on Instagram. Didn't your cat have an account at one point? Am I lying? But here's the thing, Violet, because people love cats, and so people who want to see your cats will follow that account.
I think
look at your
I
cats.
created that account because
You're not shoving it down people's throats.
No, I created that. Okay, a lot of times I do things ironically, and then I
Yeah.
just become part of it. So I did it ironically.
Yeah.
And it was because Bella Hadid posted a picture of my cat. So then
Why did she do that?
no clue. Because I randomly posted my story on
How
Daddy
did she
Issues.
get your cat?
Well, because all those girls were following me. Like when Daddy Issues blew up at one point, it was like the It account for that 1 year. I was like the It meme girl or whatever.
Wow.
And then all the It girls were also following me, and you know, it worked out for that year.
Yeah.
Obviously, every year there's a new It person.
Is that what you find?
Yeah, isn't that obvious?
I guess so. I'm just like in my own universe that I'm not so aware of that. But I guess like if I were to look at like different like comedic content creators like similar to mine, like I'll see a new girl on TikTok pop up like that.
Yeah.
That like what's her name? Delaney something. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But like she's popping. Like her stuff's going viral a lot. And like it's like her time or like
yeah.
the other year it was Brittany Broski or whatever. Remember her?
Oh, yeah.
Her. She popped off. Like just
Right.
1 year. It's like, oh, there's, and
Yeah.
then there's someone else. And then those people all, like we've maintained our careers.
Yeah,
which
some
is
people are
amazing.
not able to maintain.
Yeah.
But you constantly have to reinvent yourself. That's part of
Totally.
it. But I guess I'm a very analytical person, so I do think a lot about the behind the scenes stuff because I
love
used to
that.
be an accountant.
I love that.
So that's where it comes from. I mean, even when I created Daddy Issues, it was a way that I would say I like quote unquote hacked the algorithm because I understood the back end stuff of Instagram. So like I would find the glitches before Instagram could find it. So right away I knew what I needed to, like I delete and then repost it because there's a weird glitch and it's gonna then push my account. Or if you do something with your account that makes it seem like it's a brand new account by like deleting Instagram and restarting it, then it may bring more new followers to it, like things like that.
And that was effective?
Back then, of course, a lot of things have changed, but back then, I was growing really fast, and it got to a point that Instagram had me come to their headquarters, and they would, during the times that they would bring their engineers from San Francisco here, and I would speak at their conference to tell them everything that's wrong with their app, including the glitches, because I would find it before they did.
Wow.
I just enjoyed it.
That's
like
cool.
I just have no friends and no social life. And me, I'm just a very obsessive personality. It's part of the reason I don't do drugs. Because of my addictive, obsessive personality, I rather just get obsessed with things that I'm doing that can benefit me or people than in a healthy way than drugs. Because I like to be in control, and drinking or doing drugs, I lose control, and I don't like that.
Really?
Yeah.
But because you have that obsessive addictive personality, you channel it into good things like your creativity and your work is what it sounds like.
Yeah, but I think everything is in moderation. Obviously, sometimes if you get too, I have had points where I work too much, and then my mom always taught me that if you don't make time to take a break, your body will do it for you the most inconvenient times. And she's 100% right, because I would then get sick, or my allergies will start to flare up, and because I'm allergic to my cat. So I can never.
God, Violet. Seriously? You're allergic?
I'm a cat person. That's who we are.
Get a bald one.
I love those, but it's too late. I already love mine.
Give me yours.
No, I can't. I can't. You would forget you had a cat. You're so busy with 2 kids and a ex-husband.
Very busy with my ex-husband.
Well, the divorce stuff probably takes forever.
Yeah. It's weirdly okay. I mean, have a mediator and we've agreed on the main things. So I know there's a lot of horror stories around divorces, and knock on wood, mine hasn't been that difficult, We've managed to agree on the big things, so that's good. But the 2 toddlers, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's insane. Do you want kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do, but I was thinking of just doing twins to just get it out of the way.
Okay, you could do that.
I froze my eggs.
Are you seeing anyone?
No.
Wait, because I feel on Instagram, I always I'm really impressed by your photos. You always look so beautiful, and I'm always wow. But you have a social life. What's that like?
I think I'm just genuinely a very social person.
Yeah.
But normally I think I go through phases. I like staying at home I can be home for a week without talking to anyone and just work.
Yeah.
But it's easy for me. It's never been hard for me to go out and just talk to everyone in the room. I feel I don't know if it's part of my job or part of my character that I put on, but it's easy for me to talk to people, because I remember when I moved to the US when I was in 9th grade.
So 9th grade, from where?
Israel.
Okay.
So when I moved I was born in Russia.
Okay, yeah.
So when I moved to the US and I barely spoke English, I had to they put me in a regular English class. My dad was like, no, put her in ESL. And I was really annoyed with him, but he's actually right. So when I took the English test, I remember they were one of the questions was, what comes after inhale? And I was like, fuck. I'm like, excuse me, what comes after inhale? And they're like, oh, okay, thank you.
Wow.
Oh, it's my mic. Right. I was like, what is it? So, and that's how much I was practicing my English.
Yeah.
So, it took me a while to adjust, especially a school in Los Angeles. That's just already in itself completely different from what you would think a high school is. Okay, this is the funniest thing. I remember, because when you're a teenager, you already have your own insecurities. Mm-hmm. So one thing that was good for me is when I came to 9th grade, I don't know if it was the milk or what's in the US stuff, but my boobs went from B's to double D's in a week. And I'm being sarcastic. Obviously, maybe it was a period of a year, but in 9th grade, I was double D's.
You think it has to do with moving here?
I think it's the food preservatives, yeah.
Or the
sure.
hormones.
Yeah, there's stuff in the
meat
food.
or something?
Americans put stuff in their food.
Yeah.
Like I remember my whole family would be laughing when we go to Costco and everything is like double the size. We all gain weight moving here.
Yeah.
But also I grew up poor, so obviously I would eat it like.
I thought you were old money.
Well, I tricked you. You would have never guessed.
Wow, I would have never guessed because the way you introduced yourself, Violet Benson.
You would have never guessed because this gives off this, and the way I introduced myself, old money.
Old money. So, okay, so boobies got huge in like a month.
Yeah, and then I remember LA high school are just so different because this one girl was trying to be rude to me or bully me, whatever, I don't remember. And then she's like, yeah, and you know what? Why don't you get a chin? And it's always when it's one thing when someone states the obvious things to put you down versus it's like a new diss and you just go, wait, what? And I was like, what? That threw me off. I don't have a chin? Holy shit, okay, added to the list of new insecurities. Like I loved how in Los Angeles, people are so creative with their disses. Like that was so creative that to this day, as an adult without realizing, what did I do? I have filler in my chin. Do I have filler anywhere else in my face? No, I have filler in my chin and in my jaw.
Yeah.
That I get once a year, and I got lipo under here.
Because of that one bitch.
I bet you, no, I'm so thankful for her.
Oh.
Really, I look so much better.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Shout out to her.
Just saying, what
What's
a creative
her name?
person.
Yeah.
This podcast is sponsored by AG1, y'all. AG1 is an amazing green supplement. I take it every single morning. It's packed with 75 different vitamins, minerals, whole source food ingredients. Y'all, it's completely vegan. It helps with gut health, energy, hair, nails, strengthens your immune system. It's all your vitamins and minerals all in one drink. You just take a scoop, put it in the cup, mix it around, squeeze a little lemon in there. I like to, and it tastes so good. If you order it through me, just go to drinkag1.com/idiot. Again, that's drinkag1.com/idiot, and you can get a year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs. Y'all, it's your nutritional insurance. I love it, and I know that you will too.
What were we seeing?
Okay, so forever ago is when I walked to that one house that they were throwing a party. I don't even remember who invited me, whatever. I walk in. Everyone's on different drugs. I think maybe there was, so you know right away this is trust fund kid, because I can't tell what anyone does for a living, whatever. This is when I lived in my apartment in West Hollywood. I lived in the same apartment for years. Like when I was an accountant, I lived in that apartment. So even when I created daddy issues and I was making more money, I just stayed in that apartment because I liked the small space.
Yeah.
So and the neighborhood. So anyway, I walked to that house and everyone was on drugs. There was bowls with just different drugs and goodies that you can take. And everyone was just tripping. And I was just like, I want to see what it feels like, the experience to be just sober around the people. I just didn't want to, I do drink sometimes.
Yeah.
And I like chocolate mushrooms. So I have
chocolate mushrooms?
Yeah, I love those. Like I have no problem with those, but any other drugs I don't do. So anyway, I was completely sober when I walked into that house, and then there was this one girl, I forgot what drug she was on, and she had this book, and then she's just like, I'm just like writing all my thoughts, and I can't wait when I'm sober to read them. And because a lot of them were saying how they're trying to connect to the higher power, and that's why they're doing drugs versus just say they're doing drugs to do drugs, which that part does irritate me with people sometimes when they act like they need all these special drugs to get to that. Like you can exercise really hard to a point that you feel like you're dying, and you can hit the same euphoric feeling that you do on drugs.
I feel so high after yoga.
It's a specific feeling that something happens, like you get to that, like even
or breathing
exercises, because you're losing oxygen in your brain. It's the same feeling because you're about to faint, and you hit the same endorphins or whatever that you do from drugs.
Do you ever like hold your breath for like 2 minutes straight?
No.
Me neither. I do. I actually do.
Right.
And it's amazing. It's like the Wim Hof thing. I'll send it to you.
Really?
Oh my God. It's like a 10-minute breathing exercise, and you literally feel like so tingly and amazing and so much clarity, but you also feel like you're gonna die because you hold your breath for like a minute and a half.
I've tried I've done a class before with the breathing exercise, and I think I cried.
Pranayama, it's called, right?
Yeah, but I did it once, and I was like,
you cried?
Yeah, maybe.
I know, you get emotional.
Well, I think it was years ago when I was still holding feelings in, and I didn't know how to deal with my feelings.
But you're not anymore?
I try, obviously, I will always be Eastern European at heart, and we are kind of cold sometimes.
Okay.
But because of my podcast and me trying to understand, I give myself more grace now. So when I feel emotions, and I've taught this recently on my podcast from this beautiful thing that I read from an anonymous writer, which was so beautiful, and it just had to do with our emotions and how we tend to make the mistake of sitting in our emotions instead of sitting with our emotions. And you know the difference based on how you react to your emotions, because when you sit in your emotions, something bad happens, you say, or you're sad or you're angry, whatever it is, and you go, I shouldn't, sorry, that's so distracting. What is that? Anyway, I'm Violet Benson. So anyway, when you're sitting in your emotions, it's basically when you say things like, well, I shouldn't feel this way, or I shouldn't be sad, or I should get over this by now. This is so stupid. And when you act like that, you end up becoming your own worst enemy, because now you added shame to your feelings of sadness or anger, and those emotions aren't going anywhere. So when you're sitting in your emotions, it's when you add shame in, and now you become your own worst enemy, and you're invalidating your body from the emotions that it's feeling, because when your body feels emotions that are not happiness, it's your body communicating with you. And instead of validating your body and your heart and making it feel loved, you do the opposite. So then when you sit with your emotions, you know when you're sitting with your emotions, because you say, hey, I'm sad, this sucks. Maybe other people, they got over things faster than I did, but guess what? That's okay. I'm gonna give myself grace, I'm gonna feel my emotions, and I'm gonna cry it out, because literally it shows all the research that crying, you're releasing tears of anxiety out of your body. I'm gonna cry my emotions, and I'm gonna validate my body, because when you validate your body with the feelings that it's feeling, that's you loving yourself. So that's the difference.
I love that.
Me too.
I also feel like when you said like sit with your feelings rather than in, it's like also acknowledging, like, have you read The Power of Now?
Oh, I have that book. I haven't read it yet.
Okay, so basically it's Eckhart Tolle, and his whole concept is the only way, like, he believes that our natural state is bliss. We're meant to be in a state of bliss. And the reason that people suffer and are in a perpetual state of anxiety and depression is because we're spending 70% of our life thinking about the past or the future. So we think about the future, anxiety. Think about the past, oftentimes depression. Shame and all of that. So he says the only way to attain like real bliss, inner peace, contentment, true contentment, which he believes is our natural state, is to be present in this moment right here, right now. Because like in this moment right here, right now, everything's fine. And then he talks about like how you're not your body, I guess. So like sitting with your sadness is acknowledging that like you're not, like this is just a feeling, but it's not who you really are.
Yeah, well,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense, because I remember yesterday I was even talking about it, and I love to compare emotions to ocean, and there's waves and you just ride them out. That's our emotions. So emotions go like this and it's fine. And I think a lot of times we make the mistake at one point, somehow we were taught, or somebody started thinking that you always have to be 10 out of 10 happiness. And then that becomes a pursuit of happiness, as if it's some destination, when it's not, it's a journey. And if I'm always comparing myself to other people, or always feeling like, wait, I'm not 10 out of 10 happy right now because I'm not on a yacht in Italy with a billionaire. Is that ever going to happen for me? Probably not. You know, I'm aging out of that age where that could be possible for me. I'm kidding. No, but it's not going to happen for me. Most likely it won't. So there's other ways. I think it's all about perception.
Yes.
So you won't ever be in a sense of quote unquote bliss if your perception of what bliss or happiness is something you don't have.
Also, like, why were we given all these emotions? If we're supposed to be happy all the time, why were we given? No, we're not
supposed to be happy all the time.
Right.
But people mix happiness with a good emotion, and then your other emotions is bad. No, it's emotion.
It's
your body communicating with you.
Don't judge whatever the thing is. If you're sad, don't judge that. Feel it.
Yeah, you have to give yourself grace, because it's your body telling you something. If I'm angry, yes, I can be super angry at whatever the situation is, but because I'm feeling out of control. It's my body telling me I feel out of control, or it's my body telling me that I feel some trauma is hitting me, or it's my body telling me that I feel like I'm not being heard. It's all these other, if I feel sad, it's because I'm hurting.
Yeah.
My body needs me to be nicer to it right now, to myself. I need to be kinder to myself. If I feel anxiety, it's because, again, I feel like I'm not in control of the situation.
Yeah.
But that's why there's all these moments where you can be present, where if you're feeling anxiety, you start to touch the things around you, and you're like, okay, I'm on a couch and there's a yellow pillow here and there's a drink. And when you just start telling yourself in your brain the different things around you, you kind of focus more in the present. Or let's say something.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
Just acknowledge the things around you. Bring yourself back to like, this is a lamp. These are my sweatpants.
And it sounds silly, but it helps you, and you're touching it like, oh, this is reality. Because your thoughts a lot of the time, they're not reality. And that's the scariest part.
I know.
A lot of people have a reality that's not real. And this philosopher said a long time ago that we are the worst narrators of our own stories.
Oh my God, I
And it's
love
the truth.
that. It's so true. Like, don't believe every stupid thought you have.
And it's sad because I've had friends, one of my best friends, I've had to stop being friends with her, and it's so sad because I loved her so much.
Yeah.
But her reality just never made sense. And it was so sad because she couldn't see that and I couldn't help her. And for the longest time, it seemed like she was always the victim of all these things happening to her. And I always tried to be there for her until one day, who became the bad guy? Me. And I got to experience what was happening with other people. I got to see it. I got to be on that end. And her reality didn't make sense.
Wow.
And I'm a very logical person. I couldn't I could understand what was happening. And, and the issue is that a lot of us, it's hard in the moment when you're having a disagreement with someone or when someone's hurting your feelings or hurting you, for you to have empathy for them. But I think that's how you're able to grow as a person, is that eventually you stop hating the other person and you just realize like, wow, it must suck to have such a inner battle for that person with like who they are. Like that's their reality. You know what I mean? Like that sucks.
That sucks for them. And to like have empathy for that. Perpetual victims are very hard to be around.
Yeah.
And they cannot, it's like they're incapable of finding their part in the situation. There's no responsibility or accountability. It's like everyone's out to get them, like everything's happening to them, and that's hard.
It's hard when you're around it and your reality is so different. No matter what you do, you can't help them. It's sad.
Is that just like a personality disorder?
I don't know, because I'm not going to sit and diagnose people. I think people are so obsessed with needing to diagnose your every move versus being like, oh, it's just who I am.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's so funny now. I remember in high school when I went to 9th grade is when I remember at one point I had this whole thing of deciding to be popular because I kept getting bullied every day, and it was just...
For what? Well, whatever.
For anything. Who cares? I don't know. I mean, kids. Totally. So I was always just getting bullied by boys and girls.
Yeah.
The girls were because boys liked me.
Yeah.
But like I didn't speak English, so I didn't even know why they liked me. Right in front of me. I just didn't realize.
Yeah.
If I just looked down, I would have figured out why they liked me. And then the boys liked me, but I was trying to make friends, so I didn't even know how to talk to boys. I was very shy. But one day I was like, okay, in order not to get bullied, I've seen enough American movies, I need to be popular. And I had this whole analytical plan of how to become popular. And I created, like, I drew a whole chart of the different people. A chart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like the different, I walked around the lunch area and I basically, in my brain, just remembered where each group hangs out, and then I graded them in my head of like the level of popularity each group is. Yeah. And then I kind of watched them for enough time to kind of figure out who's actually friends with which group. And then I'm like, okay, which of these kids is in my class? And then I started from like the bottom. And then I remember I went to this girl and I was like, hey, can I hang out with you at lunch? And she's like, what? And I go, listen, I just came to America. I'm foreign. I have no friends. It would be so weird if you said no. It's a little mean. If you're going to say no, you don't have to talk to me. Your friends don't have to talk to me. I just need to stand in your crew. I just need to be there. Because I knew it was like a Tuesday, and Tuesday is when this other girl comes to the group, and I get to talk to her, and I can go hang out in the other group. So after 2 weeks, anyway, a year later, I became popular.
Wow, it worked.
Yeah.
See, if this was a movie, they would have like found your chart, and it would have been like a whole scene.
Yeah,
discovered
no
the
one, I'm
chart.
claiming the rights to that movie. Do not take that from me. But if this was a movie,
Yeah.
I think in a weird way, I ended up using the same skills to blow up daddy issues.
Yeah.
So I think I was training myself. But because of becoming popular, then I had social anxiety still because I didn't speak English well. So then I trained myself to get over that. By junior and senior year, I started going to parties by myself. And that helped me.
Okay.
Because I had no choice. I show up to
Yeah.
a party by myself. I have to talk to people now.
Yeah.
So that kind of helped me get out of my anxiety. Because I started to, especially for all these years, I remember in high school, I would look at all these beautiful girls. To me, I wasn't a cute girl because of my own insecurities. And I was just always the funny girl. Like I didn't have boyfriends in high school only until senior year. And boys, maybe when I first came in to school, they were like, oh, who's that? But then, they got to know me and they're like, pass, which is fine. So then boys never liked me. I was friends with all the pretty girls in school, the popular pretty girls, and they were the girls the boys liked. And I had no problem with that. I was like the funny friend.
Yeah.
I won class clown in high school.
Okay.
So that's just kind of, what was I talking about? I forgot why I was talking about
I don't know.
Anyway,
why.
When I became friends with those really popular girls that I looked up to,
Yeah.
hearing all their insecurities, all this stuff, I'd be like, wow, all these people that I would look up to that I thought were perfect were not. And that's when I finally realized, like, even the popular kids are insecure and they're kind of losery. So then I realized everyone's a loser. I'm a loser, but so are they.
We're all losers.
Exactly. So
That's
now,
the lesson here. You're a loser.
yeah.
You're a loser. You're a loser. We're all losers.
But if you have that mindset, you how can you walk into a room being intimidated by people and you're like, I'm a loser, we're all losers. That's probably why, as a joke, I can go somewhere with this. I don't even think twice about it
you're a
because,
fucking loser.
yeah, and I'm cool with
Literally.
it. I don't
I'm
care.
a loser.
I don't care. I mean, who cares? If someone thinks I'm a loser, okay, and
So wait, but is every single person
everyone's a loser
All
to
right.
me. We're all the same level.
We're all losers.
Because everyone's so insecure, they're always thinking about themselves that no
You're-
one's thinking about me.
Loser. Okay.
I mean, that's how I view it. Obviously, words have meaning to different people.
Yeah.
To me,
I like that because you would think, I realized one day that I'm a winner and she's a winner and we're all winners. No. No.
I could have, yeah.
We're all losers.
That was a great. Yeah, but then if you're saying you're a winner and everyone's a winner, then what if the day that you don't feel good about yourself, then suddenly you're like, shit, but everyone's a winner here in this room and I'm not.
But if we're all big
if I put
losers.
myself on the lowest playing field, supposedly, but like it's more like
There's
if
nowhere
someone,
to go when you're already so down.
it's
You're
like if
such a
someone calls
fucking
me
loser.
basic, I'm like, okay. Like I remember the other day.
You've already lost. Just give up. Her message is really just give up.
No, just
You're a big loser.
I wouldn't say give up. I think I remove the meaning of what a loser means if everyone's a loser. It's kind of like if you're special, and they go, everyone's special. Fuck off, bitch. If everyone's special, then no one's special.
Kind of want you to make a t-shirt, everyone's a loser. I kind of like that.
Someone's already going to make it. I should have made that.
Shit. Right? That's kind of cute.
Everyone is a loser, but in like a fun way.
Yeah.
In a way that they're not better than you. They're insecure. No one's thinking about you. You're going to...
Kind of love that. Kind of love when I have that epiphany that like nobody cares. Like everyone's thinking about themselves. Like nobody cares.
Well, it's group thinking. It's honestly a very scary thing.
Group thinking.
Yeah, and it happens so frequently, especially with social media. And a lot of times you think your thoughts belong to you, but they don't. And the best example I can give you is when I was in high school, my best friend that I loved and looked up to, because she was like such a cool girl, we're still best friends, is that she had a fear of flying. I didn't have a fear of flying. I don't really get anxiety, but I picked up on that habit without realizing because I wanted to fit in with her.
Okay.
And as a child, I don't understand that's what's going on. But I suddenly started to have a fear of flying where I'm like, oh my God, we're about to take off. And I'm like, I have to do breathing exercises or I have to take Xanax or whatever it is to calm me down.
Yeah.
And it was for years that I genuinely believed I had a fear of flying until one day I got on the plane. I'm like, do I actually have a fear for flying? Why am I so scared of flying?
Yeah.
Because I think I was having a conversation with someone and the plane took off and I didn't realize. And that's when I'm like, wait, what just happened? I thought I had a fear of flying for all these years, and I realized, looking back, oh, I picked up a habit from my best friend. She was doing that. Her friends were kind of also having that anxiety.
Yeah.
And that's where my anxiety came from. It wasn't my fear.
Yeah.
I picked up on her fear.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of flying.
You're not scared of flying.
No, I'm scared of things no, I'm not scared of flying.
What about dating? Are you scared of dating?
No, I date all the time. I always have a
me-
boyfriend.
Can you tell? Really?
Yes, I'm always dating. I just don't talk about those things.
Oh, so you don't talk? Because I was just gonna ask you about like your dating experience. Because I know nothing. Like I've never been on apps or anything like that. Like,
You're gonna get on it now.
what? Tell me about it. Like, what's it like? What's it like out there? Or no? Or do you not talk about that stuff? And
No,
that's okay.
I feel bad.
If you're private, I totally get that.
I don't know. I feel like I go through phases.
Yeah.
I think a reason I'm always been able to give such great advice about dating, especially when it comes to dating men, aside from me reading books on how to date men written by men, and that's how I give the advice. I think it's also because a lot of times when I've talked about dating a fuckboy, it's probably because I'm similar to those traits
You're like
the
a
dater.
fuckboy? Okay.
Yeah, in a way. So I think I always that helps me then understand what that person is thinking, because I've always had, growing up, my own. Well, in my 20s, I had a boyfriend most of my 20s.
Okay.
That's one thing I forget to mention. I had a boyfriend like 7 or 8 years during my 20s.
Really?
Yeah, but we're on and off. It wasn't a great relationship on both our ends, but I was just so addicted to him.
Would you say it was like a codependent relationship?
I think
or-
on my end.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I would die for him. Like it was just like literally when the days he would break up with me, I couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah.
Like nothing mattered, and I just waited by the phone and I would wait for him to just get back to me, and then I could function again.
Yeah.
Like I just would miss school, anything. Like I literally thought in my brain that nothing mattered until we're together again, which is so insane to look back and think that it's how I was. Maybe that's why I completely changed the opposite. But I think every person you date, you just get to learn new things. And
What's the worst date you've been on? Was there a particularly bad one?
I wouldn't say it's the worst date. I think normally I have great dates. I would say the people that maybe a few. Okay, one time I went on a date where we went to dinner, then we went to maybe we got drinks at a bar or something, and it was our first date. And then afterwards he was like, oh, do you want to go to my friend's house, like an after party? And I was like, sure. And then my assistant at the time had to come over to help me with something. So she sat next to me and I was like, oh, this is Natalie, this is blah, blah. And then as he goes, oh, hey, what's up? He just pulls out 3 lines of Coke and he's like, oh, hey, just like that. And me and Natalie both sat there like, whoa. And that was our first date. And in my head, I think it was him trying to impress me because he thought I would think it's cool because it's like he's an actor, it's a Hollywood thing. But instead, her and I don't do cocaine. We've never done cocaine, so it's just not our thing. So I was just like, what the hell? That was random.
Yeah.
Another bad date I had was during the pandemic where me and this guy just broke up and the pandemic happened. And I was just like, hey, should we get back together? And he was like, no. And I was like, are you sure? And he was like, positive. And I was like, but what if you're the one? And he's like, I am not. And I was like, cool. So cool. He still lived at home too. And and he was like mid-30s, late 30s. And I was like,
Lived with his parents, and you were like,
and he
"He's a
still
catch."
didn't want me.
Damn.
I was like, but I have a house. Like, you can, it's fine. Anyway.
How old? Oh, mid-30s.
Yeah. By the way, I'm making jokes. Anyone I've ever dated, like we're on good terms and we're friends. So I like to keep it chill. But anyway, I got on a dating app on Raya, and this one guy only had close-ups of his face, but he looked cute, and we matched. And then it's a lockdown. It was like, I don't know if it was the beginning of COVID, before. I don't recall, but it was when things are about to start to close down. So you can't really go anywhere. And I have no sense of time, and I also have no social cues. It's a real thing. That's probably why I don't get anxiety in social situations.
Okay.
So my brain just doesn't work in a way where I'm thinking danger or something's weird. So he's like, okay, let's have dinner at 7:30. And I go, yeah, come to my house. We'll have dinner. And then I was like, wait, actually, I'm still working. And then I kept changing the time. And I go, and finally by 9 or 10 p.m., I was like, okay, I finally am finished working. You can come over now for dinner. I don't know the normal dating rules, which is like 10 p.m., what it means. I'm thinking, I have no sense of time. I could give a shit what time it is right now. I just finished working. It works for me.
Wait, and this was your first date?
Yeah.
You were like, come over 10 p.m. So he's thinking for sure he's going to get some.
Yeah. So then he comes over.
We have 4 minutes left on this podcast. Go.
Okay, so then he comes over
Okay.
and he has like this really big head, but like a really skinny body.
Okay.
So literally my first thought is I could take him.
Like beat him up?
Yeah, because then when I realized, because he came over and he was just like, hey. And when he did that, my brain was like, reprogramming, oh shit, 10 p.m. I invited this guy to my house. I didn't actually make dinner. We were just gonna order dinner. I didn't think about it, so I looked at him, programmed my body, I could take him.
Yeah,
I could
you're
take him.
safe. Yeah.
Okay, I felt safe.
Yeah.
But then we're sitting there and I was like, okay, I feel awkward. So without telling him, I took edibles. So then I'm sitting on this edge of the couch, he's sitting here, and I'm like, we're watching a show or movie.
Yeah.
And I just see him the whole time, he's just like this, like. So then I'm like trying to watch the movie or the show, and I'm like, and because I'm so high, I'm like, oh my God, why do you keep looking at me? What's happening? What's happening? Wait, oh my God, oh my God, did you think that we're gonna do something? Oh my God, is that what's happening right now? Do you think we're having intercourse?
And you're just high as fuck.
And he's just like
tripping out.
He's chill as hell, and he goes, I mean, yeah. I mean, why else am I here? And I go, what do you mean? It's like everything else is closed. I just invite you to have dinner, and it just happens to be 10 p.m. And he's like, and I was like, we are definitely not having sex. He goes, all right, yeah, I mean, but like, usually when girls, a lot of times they say no, eventually they say yes. And I was like, okay, so for me it's a no. Do you want to leave? Or he goes, no, I mean, let's make some cookies and then I'll leave. And then he just kept saying longer and longer. We go to my balcony. He starts smoking weed or a cigarette or something. Mm-hmm. I live in the hills where fire all the time. And he takes his cigarette to look really cool, and then he just throws it to my thing. And I was just like, and I would go, okay, I think it's time for you to go. And he's like, okay, let me just eat one cookie and then I'll leave. So then he finally ate his cookie, he left. Then he like wouldn't stop hitting me up. And I said, listen, you're a nice guy. I'm just not looking for anything right now. And he said, that's perfect, neither am I. So should we hang out again? And I was like, oh my God, I'm never dating again.
Oh, so you didn't hang out with him again?
No.
Okay. Wait, what else? How much time do we have? How did that happen? How did 30 minutes pass again? Was that
I feel bad like I talk too much. I feel like you should talk more.
It's funny, like I feel like I talk less. Like I used to talk as much as you. And I don't know why I don't talk as much anymore. Like I do
on my own
talk.
podcast, I don't. On other people's podcasts, I think it's as a host, you get used to trying to make the podcast entertaining for the other person.
Yeah, yeah.
C-Mark?
But I think like just like in general in life, like I used to just nonstop. And like I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It's funny the way we change. A little bit.
That's making me want to change now. I'm like, am I doing it wrong? Cool.
You're literally not. No, because I like...
Wait, do you take Adderall?
No. Do you?
Yeah.
Well, now it makes sense. You're like, I don't know why I can't stop talking. Am I talking too much?
I'm just so focused on my story. I'm focused on that. Yeah.
Wait, it's Adderall.
Yeah.
I don't take Adderall. Do you know why? Because I'd probably end up snorting it.
Yeah, okay.
You know? Or like, maybe not necessarily snorting it, but I would abuse it probably.
Yeah.
I probably would. It's not worth the risk.
I think so. I agree.
You know, like for my type of brain, I feel like I would get really addicted to it. Maybe I'm wrong. I definitely have ADD, or ADHD. I was diagnosed with that.
Yeah.
But I just don't take anything for it.
I think it's really interesting if you read about those things that dyslexia, ADD, ADHD, depression, anxiety, and a few other disorders of mental health illness, I don't know which category it goes into, they overlap. The symptoms overlap.
Yeah.
So then a lot of times, especially now, it seems like it's a trend to get diagnosed with ADHD. I'm not saying for you specifically, I'm talking about on the internet, because there was like a shortage with Adderall. But then someone may have depression and anxiety because of certain symptoms, and then they're like, oh, I must have ADD or ADHD, and then they just get prescribed to the wrong medication. I mean, at one point, when you get diagnosed with ADD or ADHD, you also could potentially be bipolar. So they were trying to diagnose me for either being bipolar or having ADHD or depression as well. And I'm like, oh, just pick one, dude.
Well, which one did they pick?
ADHD.
Okay, because I had one psychiatrist diagnose me as bipolar. Literally, it was like my first time going there. I spent 40 minutes with him, maybe 30. And like after 20 or 30 minutes, he was like, you have bipolar and I'm going to prescribe you lithium. And I'm like, bro, what? Like, you just met me. And I went in there and he was like, tell me about yourself. So I was telling him how I used to be dangerously impulsive when I was like in my addiction.
Right.
That I would do like dangerously impulsive things. And I said, but I got sober. And he goes, well, how do you handle like anxiety now? And I was like, I love to go to yoga. I meditate. I take walks. I call my friends. And he's like, you're bipolar, lithium.
What?
You know? Yeah, literally. And then he was like, I can make you feel like you just got out of a yoga class 24 hours a day.
So you won't need to do all those healthy things.
Yeah.
Just get on medication.
Yes.
That's mad.
Yes. But he literally said it in this way of like, he goes, I'll never forget it. He goes, I can make you feel like you just got out of yoga 24 hours a day. Like, just like a fucking drug dealer.
That's
like
funny.
pushing lithium on me.
I remember now the reason I'm probably talking a lot is actually because my Adderall is wearing off. So that's when you don't have your Adderall, because Adderall will calm you down.
How much do you take?
Oh, I take time release.
Okay.
And like 10 to 20 milligrams. That's it. I won't go higher because
What happens if you don't take it?
I'm chilling. Or maybe if I don't take it for a couple of days, I go through withdrawals. I'll be irritated. I'll be really tired. It's hard for me. I mean, obviously there's,
Sure.
it's not a joke. It's a serious drug. That's why I never go higher, because a lot of times, and the weekends I'll take off. So.
Oh, interesting. So you just can.
Yeah, because a lot of times people slowly start to take a higher dose and a higher dose and a higher dose. Like, I've had friends at one point, they got 60 or 80 milligrams. Like, doesn't seem right. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's basically the movie Limitless. It's just someone who did Adderall and added like an extra shot of meth to it. That's Limitless.
Okay. Okay.
When I watched the movie, I was like, this is me.
Wow.
I can relate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had friends, it was big like in college, they would take Adderall to be able to like take tests and study.
Yeah.
And like but some of them it really affected badly and they would get really addicted, and others could do it safely. Like, it just depends on.
I think it's just I think my obsession with being in control. Being in control is what brings me peace in a weird way. Even in my own house. Mm-hmm. When everything's cluttered, I feel like my life is a mess. Totally. And then I just go, I'll just clean everything. Yeah. And it's my own little therapy where I get to clean my house. And then I feel like I'm more in control, because most things in life you have no control over. So knowing that me is the only thing I have control over, that kind of gives me hope. Yeah. Because I feel very helpless and hopeless if I try to control all the things around me, knowing damn well I can't control it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember though, a few years ago when I needed to get a new doctor or psychiatrist for my Adderall prescription, because the ones I was going to, they went out of business. So at this point, I'm like a few weeks not on it, and I'm groggy, tired, irritated, and I walked into the office at like 9 a.m. and he just asked me questions, and I was just like, okay, so like let me tell you exactly why I need the Adderall, like, and I started just talking super fast. I'm like, this is why I need, and he goes, would you be opposed to getting a drug test right now? And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, you have symptoms. Are you on cocaine right now? And I was like, cocaine? Sir, I've never done cocaine. Anyway, so I would like 20 to 30 milligrams. Okay, we can start with 10. It doesn't matter. I have so much shit to do today. So please, sir, can we hurry this up? And he was like, I don't feel comfortable right now giving you anything until I know that until you're getting a drug test. Whoa. And I was like, I've never done cocaine in my life. Okay. And then I peed. He saw that there was no coke in my pee or any other drugs. Yeah. But that was a really funny day.
But were you on Adderall?
No. So Adderall will calm me down. Okay. So right now my Adderall wore off. And that's why I'm able to talk so much.
Whoa. That's so crazy. Even though Adderall, isn't it like speed?
It helps you focus.
But it's like an amphetamine or something?
Yeah, but it slows me down.
Wow. Okay.
So my brain works a lot, and then I take Adderall and it's just, because before it feels like all the wires are coming together and I'm like, oh, okay, I should do this. Wait, no, I should do this. Or end up focusing too long on something and then like I have to leave the house. Oh, wait, but this pillow. And then, and then it's been 30 minutes. So then Adderall's like, and suddenly the wires are separated. And I'm like, okay, so I'll do this first, then that. And that's also when I'm able to stay calm in situations. Like if someone's acting out, I don't feel the impulse to be angry back. It's more like, okay, this is where this person's coming from. How can I mediate the situation?
Yeah.
So, but that's also part of being a grown-up, obviously.
Damn, I want Adderall now.
No, I'm addicted to
You
it.
really sold it to me.
Shit. I hallucinate sometimes.
For real?
It's a side effect of Adderall that no one tells you about.
No.
Sometimes I see things on the side of my eye, and because I know it can sometimes happen because of Adderall, I just pretend it's not there. But maybe sometimes I don't know if it's because I'm really tired or what it is, but like sometimes I'll see something on the side of my eye and I'm like, okay, it's not there, and I just don't say anything.
Do you sleep?
All the time, yeah, I love sleeping.
Okay, so like it's not.
But Adderall, it gives some people depression.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
For me, it helps with anxiety for me.
Yeah,
It calms
yeah.
me down.
Yeah.
For other people, it makes their anxiety and depression worse.
Whoa.
And also the hallucinating.
Yeah.
And then the needing to go up in doses for people. And some people can't sleep on it.
Okay.
Some people can't eat on it. I've managed to gain weight on Adderall.
All right. I'm wanting to not take it as much. Keep going.
Okay.
More cons. I don't want it.
Fuck, what else is there?
I mean, that's pretty bad. Like not sleeping, not eating. It's
When it's
addictive.
wearing off, you can get agitated easily.
Okay.
And irritated.
So people were like freaking out about the shortage then, because there's a physical addiction maybe to it.
Well, one time when my psychiatrist went out of town and I needed Adderall, I freaked out because I had to be 2 weeks without it. So I would be going through withdrawals. It's a real serious drug.
When you say withdrawals, do you mean physical or mental or both?
Both. I don't know how to explain it, but when I went a whole week or a week and a half without Adderall, and I feel like I'm going to get really judged for it, but whatever, I'm just going to be honest. I couldn't focus, but it got to a point that everything looked, I guess I'm a very visual person, as you can tell by the way I describe things, but everything felt gray. And I was walking around like it was like a depression commercial where I'm becoming depressed because it's messing up with my mental health, but I'm very tired and it felt like it's like I'm in a depression commercial where I'm walking around, there's just a gray cloud over me while everyone's moving a lot and I can't process things. And everything felt like my screen was gloomy. It's kind of like your phone case, your phone when you were taking a video and it was blurry. That was my eyesight, 20/20 eyesight. So I don't know how to explain it. And my friend said, I have some Adderall on me. Why don't I give you one of my pills until you finally get your prescription? I said, thank you so much. I kid you not. I took one of his pills. Within 15 minutes, it finally started to go in my body. I was just like, whoa. And I saw things in color again. Like normal color. Like it felt like I needed glasses right before I took the pill after not being on it for a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks.
Wow.
To suddenly wearing glasses.
Wow.
And that's the best way I could describe it. And that was because I was going through withdrawals.
Wow.
And then I'm irritated. And you get to a point if I went 3 weeks without it or longer than 2 weeks, it would have been hard for me to get out of bed. Yeah. It's a real addiction. That's why I never go higher. And I've lowered my own dose, but on my own, because it seems like psychiatrists really, they say that, the whole thing with pharma is the best thing about you is to be a lifetime customer with anything.
Jeez.
So, I've lowered my own dose.
You want it for life.
Yeah, eventually, when one day I finally meet a rich husband and I can quit my job and be a full-time mother, which is a full-time job, then hopefully I won't need that. But
then you'll need double the dose of Adderall.
Or double the babysitters.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's rich enough.
Yes.
I get a billionaire, I make him a millionaire.
Love that.
Yeah.
Just
that's
a house
the goal.
full of nannies.
Yeah. I never see my kids like on the west side of the house.
But you can look at pictures.
Yeah.
Post 3 months.
Yeah, I see. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
my child posts on Instagram. Why does my child have Instagram? I don't know.
I don't know.
Cool, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, have you seen your kids today? No, they're on the west wing of the house. I'm on the right wing of the house.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them in 3 weeks. I haven't even seen my husband. Oh, he's with his mistress. Yeah.
Sounds like a lovely life.
Yeah.
Is this the dream?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's give me your biggest piece of life advice to end this lovely, lovely podcast? That's like a lot of pressure.
So much pressure.
What's the meaning of life?
That I don't know.
Okay. Then what's your biggest piece of life advice? Do you believe in God?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, cool. But what else?
I believe in God. I think the biggest piece of advice that I can give people would be that everything you do in life, you do have a choice. And I think a lot of times we forget, we think things are out of our control. And I think what helps me some days to wake up and change my day from being irritated or upset is that I get to choose how my day is going to go. And I think it's so cool when you realize that everything you do in life, you have a choice. And I get to choose the people that I love. I get to choose who I want to be around. I get to choose that I want to love these people and give them love every single day. I get to choose what I do with my life, whether it's a life of sadness or a life of happiness. I get to choose who I surround myself with. And when you realize that you do have a choice with everything you do, you no longer feel like people have power over you. And that's, I think, the most frustrating thing for a lot of people, because it's easier to blame everyone else for a shitty life rather than admit, I'm the reason my life is shitty. So once you take that responsibility and you say, well, I get to choose what happens to me today, I get to choose where I end up in my life, then how cool is that to know?
Yeah. That's very liberating.
It is. And some days I choose to be sad and I allow myself to feel. And like yesterday I was sad. I didn't know why. I didn't attach a reason to my sadness. I just allowed myself to be sad. But I chose that. And then I chose today to wake up and be less sad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say 10 out of 10 happy, but I chose today to have a better day.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think how cool is that you get to choose who you love and what you do with your life and your future.
Yeah. And you get to maybe not always choose your first thought. The first thought can just come in, but like you can choose to then shift your thoughts and you can choose a new thought.
Yes, that's the whole point
And
of choose. Because when you think everything's out of your control, like everyone I date's an asshole. Well, you're choosing who you're dating, or my job sucks. Well, you're choosing to stay in this life where like everyone around me is this and this to me. Well, you're choosing to be the victim.
Yeah, totally.
I think it's so cool. I don't know. My favorite thing is that you get to choose to love people every day, and you get to choose to be kind to people, and you get to choose to see the positive side of life. Like that's so cool.
Yeah, I love that. Like we are really powerful in so many ways. I love that. I love it.
Thank you. Thanks.
Woo! Go Violet! Wow.
How do you know when it's like when people clap, you're like, do I stop
When
first? Do you stop?
Yeah.
Right?
Do you think we went too long on the clap? Okay.
Were you waiting for me to stop?
I was waiting for you, yeah.
Okay, I was waiting for you.
Okay. Do you want to try it again? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Too long again?
Well, okay.
Okay. I think that was great.
I like clapping when I watch stuff on TV by myself. I get when I get really happy because I get so into what I watch, and I'll just go.
Really?
Yeah.
You do like a full-on clap by yourself?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done that. Not once. I'm not judging you.
Yeah.
You're choosing to clap. That's your choice.
I'm choosing to
And that's
clap.
an amazing thing.
It brings me happiness.
Yeah.
Like something good happens, and I'm like,
Maybe I have. I don't know. That's cool though. I like that.
is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you say things and you're like, should I have kept that to myself?
No.
Maybe.
Never.
Yeah.
You're an oversharer.
No.
You don't think so?
I choose what I share. No, but I choose what I share. My
Do you
mom
ever regret what you share?
only if it's in a way that's gonna make my character look bad.
Yeah.
I know.
What
it's
if it hurts someone else's feelings? Have you regretted that?
No.
Okay.
Only because I think sometimes people are I regret if it brings a lot of drama, but if someone wants my honest opinion, then I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I
Very
think-
Russian of you.
Eastern Europeans just work differently. One of my friends is Eastern European. We just get each other.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. The other day I saw her and I said, I was looking some of your videos. Is everything okay with your boyfriend? Because I think you're going through something. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, you look a little heavier. When it's like very Russian.
So Russian.
To be like, the minute I see anyone from my family, the Russian side, they go, you gain weight or you lost weight. It's like the first thing. It's very normal, but you don't take offense. You're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool information. You don't have to take it.
Wow.
But no, I don't regret ever telling people how I felt, whether it's telling them love and then they didn't reciprocate, because sometimes people need love more than you know. And I never regretted telling somebody how I felt if that made them uncomfortable, because I'm not responsible for other people's feelings. They are.
Yeah.
And people don't realize it. People always get triggered now on the internet because they think that you're somehow responsible for how it makes me feel. You heard that, how it makes me feel. So that's coming from my own issues.
Yeah.
I'm being triggered. My triggers are not your responsibility.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Wow, that's really so funny that you guys will just say like, you lost weight, you gained weight, but you don't take it personally. It's just like, it's just information.
Yeah. The other day I called my friend, the Eastern European girl, and I was like, do you think I should do this? She's like, no, this person will think you're a loser and all of his friends will laugh at you. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like literally it's just conversations like that where she's like, I would never wear that top. And I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not that deep. I can't imagine going through life just being offended by everything.
Yeah.
That's just so exhausting.
Yeah.
I find most things funny.
Yeah, I like that. I think I can be like too sensitive at times. Like sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I'm not, I don't, sometimes I take criticism well, and then other times like I don't know, like I feel like I'm a highly sensitive person sometimes, and I need to work on that. Like not being so affected by like if someone makes a comment about my weight. Like I've lost weight from like stress and everything I'm going through, and so like people will comment on it online, and like it really makes me sad, and I need to not care so much.
Well, that's you.
Yeah.
Sitting in your feelings, not with your feelings.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm too sensitive. What does that mean? That you feel things because things are triggering you because it's a personal thing? That's fine.
Yeah.
It's more how you react.
Yeah.
Don't tell yourself, well, I shouldn't
Don't
feel
judge
this
it.
way.
Don't judge it.
Or show yourself, like just be like, this is, I've learned now, a lot of times when I go through breakups or certain things, the way I deal with things, I hate that about myself. Because I go so deep into my sadness and obsession and all that. I'm always so envious of my friends who just move on so fast.
Yeah.
But I've learned, you know what, at this age, at this point in my 30s, that's not changing. So I have to accept it, because I make my process worse by shaming myself.
Yeah, and judging it.
Exactly. Instead, you say,
Sit with it.
I'm sensitive, but now I know this person's not the enemy. Like, yes, they said something. Maybe they don't know that would really hurt me.
Yeah.
So what if this happened with my sister. She said something, I got triggered.
Yeah.
I'm like, I went off on her, and then she disagreed with me, and then I go, whoa, wait, actually, my bad. I just realized that was my own insecurities coming out. So I apologize. I think the lesson is more you learning to catch yourself with how you react back, and then you also learning to understand why you're so sensitive about something.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, like don't judge it. Get curious. Why am I feeling this way? And then just allow myself to sit with it. Like and not judge it. Just be okay.
It's just
like,
some people are more sensitive than others. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you have to get along with everyone. Maybe someone who is really overly sensitive about things, maybe that would be hard for us to be friends.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that they're wrong for their emotions.
Yeah.
I get to choose who I'm friends with,
Totally.
and life is too short for me to walk on eggshells with who I am as a person, because I would have to dim my light.
Totally.
But it's also,
that's a really good point.
we're both not wrong for being completely different people. I think that's where we shame, where on one end it would be like, well, you're too mean and too harsh. And the other end is you're too sensitive.
Yeah.
Okay, so find more friends who are more similar to you, and I'll find more friends that are similar to me, and then we can both be happy.
Love that. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Violet. This was really insightful. And it's been like 5 years? How long? Since
I don't
I've
recall.
seen you?
From my memory, I feel like we were at a restaurant.
Jones Road, Jones on 3rd.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have kids, so at least 5 years, because, well, my son's 4, and I wasn't pregnant when we met.
Yeah.
No, it was like probably like 6. My one memory is that you told me you didn't like my hair. Okay. Very Russian of you. Very
Shut
Russian.
up. That's what I
You
said.
literally were like, what's going on with your hair?
Yeah.
And I was so hurt. But highly sensitive. And like also didn't hold it against you. Just
I
like,
must have said it as a joke.
maybe. I don't know.
100%.
I don't know. But like I think, well, whatever. It's like you said, like it's just, there's something to be said about like just, I don't know.
wish you would have told me. I'm so good with
Right.
feedback.
Totally.
I think.
But that's not my one memory. I also remember like us getting along and like having
we would
fun.
make so many jokes together.
Yeah. Like I remember also
But
having
that's-
fun with you. Like
That part
I
is
do
so
remember
sad
that.
though. Like that is so sad because I just make jokes to make jokes, and that of course that makes me sad if there's someone that I'm fond of
Yeah.
and I said something that maybe hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
I wish people communicate better because people don't give other people a chance to love them.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, even a platonic relationship where you don't know if I could have loved you the way you needed me to love you. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry that I'm using the word love, but
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make an example where you can't just assume that people can read your mind, and you can't assume that just because you would never say something like that they won't. And you can't assume that I know that would hurt your feelings. And I wish you gave me the opportunity to make you feel more loved, because if you only just told me, hey, this is what makes me feel loved.
7 years later.
But this is what makes me feel
Yeah.
loved, by you giving more compliments, because words of affirmation is my love language. So when you made a comment with my hair, it made me feel like you don't like me. I would have known that. I've been like, oh my God, I was
Yeah.
making a joke because you're so funny. I was
Yeah.
trying to be on your level.
Yeah.
So the first thing that popped in my head was your hair.
Yeah.
I didn't actually think anything of your hair. Now I know. Thank you for giving me the chance now to show you that
Yeah.
I'm able to love you the way you need to be loved. And then I'm fine.
And I'm learning that more and more, like with every year, is how to communicate effectively. Like I think it was hard for me to express myself and like say if my feelings were hurt. Like it just, you don't want it to be awkward, or like you don't want to offend the other person, or like you don't want it to cause
Or you don't think it's a big deal, like, oh, it's not a big
it's
deal.
not a big deal. Or like I'm judging myself. I shouldn't have been offended.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with me. Move on. But it was just like a moment. But it was just a moment. But there were also really good moments too, I remember.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember like why, well, whatever. I had kids. Like that happens. You just kind of fall apart. But I keep like seeing your posts, and I was like, I want to see you again and catch
Aw,
up. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad 7 years later you finally told me how it made you feel, and I'm glad that now we're good.
It's really funny, and yeah, and I'm glad we talked about that, and just like you explaining, I don't know who you are more, it helps me understand.
But also I think it's on me where I forget that the same way I tell everyone else, they don't think the way you do. Most people don't think the way I do. So just
Yeah.
because I walk around thinking everything's funny, it's not that deep. I forget that everyone else is not like me.
Yeah.
So they don't think like that.
Yeah,
They do take things personally.
sometimes, which is like, I'm not going to judge it, but like you shouldn't really take things personally too much.
It comes from inner stuff. It's
Yeah.
not about the other person.
Totally.
Yeah.
Dude, how long?
Oh my God.
4:30? All right.
Okay, let's get
this
into
is
mine.
it. We're done.
Shouldn't you have an outro?
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Okay. And tune in to her coming on my podcast, Almost Adulting.
Yeah, follow. Wait, was it something else and then it changed?
Yeah. My podcast used to be called Too Tired to Be Crazy.
Why'd
and
you
then
change it?
I didn't like the fact that I used crazy and anyone saying they listen to my podcast. Like, I think words matter just the same. You eat the food you eat, the people around you, same with your words and how you talk about yourself. So I didn't like the fact that I was having my listeners reuse the word to call themselves crazy. So I changed it to Almost Adulting, because your whole life you're always almost adulting.
Yeah.
You're never fully there.
Yeah.
Hence
that.
I'm 34.
I love it.
So,
Almost.
well,
You almost didn't stain it. But you're just
Almost.
a big loser, so.
I'm just a loser.
We're all losers.
We're all losers.
If we can leave you with anything today, it's that we're all
losers.
Okay. Bye.